when you can hire the right people, train them properly, equip them, and then unleash their productivity, the gains can be amazing in terms of financial return.
One of the things that I have seen in my history of working with HR is that, it tends to be the C-level executive that, because they fill a qualitative role as opposed to a quantitative role, right? You've got the CEO who is the face, mouthpiece, and dream of the company. He's pushing sales. Then you've got the CFO who's the fiduciary duty, making sure that everything, all the books are accounted for and everything's okay. Then you've got the chief operating officer making sure that everything is efficient.
Right.
Why are we spending so much here? Why are we not spending enough here? What do the numbers look like? They're all quantitative roles. And then you've got the CHRO who has a budget, but doesn't, they're a cost center.
Right.
So how do you get them to talk and be taken seriously? And one of the things that I would like to do and present and educate on is how to keep that budget. If you cut an expense, because there's plenty of technology out there to cut some of the fat, but then you lose your budget.
Right.
So how do you work with them to figure out how do we keep that within the HR budget so you can have a better health insurance plan, so you can have dental or vision, make these ahead of time so that whenever you do help and save the company money, you get a seat at the table, a higher seat at the table.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's absolutely correct. And it's kind of a two-part dilemma, I think, because they do lose budget when they make those cuts, so they tend to protect it, and that makes it very territorial. But the other thing I think in the HR side we haven't done an effective job of is, just like the CFO, just like the CEO, the operating officer, there are ROIs for what we do within HR, and we have to do a better job of quantifying that. When I was early in my career, I used to say there are no cash registers in HR. But I've come to believe actually some of the biggest cash registers in the organization actually reside within the HR team, because again, when you can hire the right people, train them properly, equip them, and then unleash their productivity, the gains can be amazing in terms of financial return. So as HR leaders, if we can quantify and put those numbers into the same formulas and spreadsheets that the rest of the operation team has and functions off of every day, then it clearly changes the dynamics of the relationship that I'm going to have with the other executives and the team. And then the other thing we can do is, if we position it and tell the stories of the impact within the organization, not only then do we have a seat at the table, but we've got real credibility in terms of longevity. If I can talk about the length of time that we retain our people and the increasing productivity gained over those years of service, or if I can show real live dynamic exercises of training and engagement that provides higher productivity standards. I'll give you a quick example.
Yeah, please.
Worked with a manufacturing plant, and they had horrible turnover problems. And as they brought in a concept called 2-second lean, which really did capture the spirit of the employee. And really, it was as simple as asking those employees to take 15 minutes a week and work on something that bugged them in the workplace. And the only requirement was, it might take them a week, it might take them a month, it might take them 6 months to complete that project. The only requirement was they had to use their smartphone and take a video of themselves explaining to their coworkers what they had done and why that increased their productivity. That in that plant, they hit productivity standards that they thought were impossible, all because they changed the perspective of what was going on. So that's the second half of what the HR team has to do, is think about creatively what we can do to really change the engagement of the workers.
Hey, thanks for watching The Merge. We've got a ton more stuff for you to watch on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere. Check us out.